Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is basically it's a video idea I got while filming another video, and then I was like, oh, this might be a good video idea. And I don't know if it is or not, but I thought it would just be interesting to share. It's not really like advice or tips, but it's kind of just like an interesting video that I'd never even thought about. And it's basically comments I got during anorexia or my eating disorder. And I got a lot of comments, and I don't remember all of them, but I remember some like very bold ones, like very unique ones, because I did get things like, oh, are you eating, or like, oh, are you on a diet, or oh, like, are you okay, or oh, like, I go to all of these. But there were some comments that were kind of like they were kind of like not a joke, but like basically they were trying to it was kind of like very bold and memorable. Like I could remember what they said, so I wrote them down here. So this is some of the comments I got. So one was when we were and this was kind of not at my skinniest stage. This was when I was started. If you remember my anorexia video, there was like a stage when I started binging, and I gained a little bit of weight, but I still was skinny. And we went to the airport because we were going back to America, and we were in Russia, and we were going back to America, and we were at the airport, and I was standing, and you know how they check the picture, your passport picture? And the passport picture that I had was like from a long time ago when I was overweight, and now I'm here underweight, and I was a bit bigger. And so I came up and I looked at the window, I looked at the lady, because they have to check, you know, your picture so it matches. And she was like, oh, you have lost a lot of weight, you know? And my mom was like, actually, this is she gained some weight. And that comment was kind of like, I don't know, like, I didn't feel bad about it, because at that point I kind of wanted to recover, so I didn't feel terrible about it, but like I didn't like talking about my weight, so it just wasn't something I enjoyed talking about, and it wasn't like a pleasant conversation, and I didn't really know how to respond, because you're gonna just be like, yeah, like, I don't really know if she said it as a good thing or a bad thing, but at least it didn't look like a zombie. That's good. Speaking of zombies, the next comment was also commented by probably my family, and I know this might sound mean, but it wasn't mean, because they were trying to kind of like tell me that I'm way too skinny and unhealthy, and they would call me like skeleton and walking skeleton, because not only because I was skinny, because like there's people skinny but they look healthy, and they weren't making fun of my weight, they were trying to be like, you know, you look like a skeleton, literally. Like, I looked like a zombie, because and this was when I was anorexic, when I didn't binge, and my face was like, if you look at pictures, you could see that I'm kind of just like, I look tired, I have like big bags under my eyes, I look weak, I look like I just am dead, literally, from the inside out. And so they would call me like, you look like a skeleton or a zombie, because I looked like I was dead, but I was walking, and I was really thin, too thin. And so I got that kind of comment. Another one was, we came, and this was also not I was already underweight, but I wasn't severely underweight, and I was sitting at the table at our like family friends, like it's my family's friends, and they have children, and one of them was like, and they were like old, like not old children, but I mean like teenagers, and they were kind of, one of them was like, I was sitting with my friend, and they were all like related and stuff, so I was sitting there, and he was kind of like, oh, you guys should like kind of, I don't remember exactly how he said it, but it was something like, oh, I think you guys need to give each other some tips, because my friend was overweight and I was underweight, and so what he meant was giving each other tips by like, I need to gain some weight, she needs to lose some weight. And it's kind of a mean comment, but like I said, like it wasn't meant to be hurtful, but I remember like everyone heard it, and I was kind of embarrassed, and kind of like, oh, like, just shut up, like, I didn't want to hear that. It wasn't like, it was kind of a mean, well, probably the meanest comment I got for me personally. Like, maybe you guys would think something else is meaner, or like the other comments are meaner, but like for me, that was probably the meanest one for me, because the other ones were kind of more, in the fact kind of like, oh, you need help. But this one was kind of just like, oh, you're too skinny and you're too fat sort of thing. And I don't like to say fat, but like overweight. So yeah, that was another comment I got. I also had a comment from my cousin, and he was sitting down and over at our house, and I was coming downstairs, and I didn't come downstairs that often, and I was coming downstairs and I was gonna feed my cat, and I also grabbed myself breakfast, which is a banana, and I had almonds upstairs, so and I did like a whole like what I ate during anorexia, and it's terrible, and you guys could watch it if you want to. Remember, this is not like for promoting or giving ideas. I'm just saying this as history. And I got that banana that downstairs, and I also got my cat food, and I was gonna go upstairs, and then my cousin was like, oh, your cat eats more than you. And like I said, this is not like a mean comment. For me, it was not mean. It was kind of like a concern, but like I didn't like to hear it, so I was kind of just like, oh, haha, and then like ran upstairs because I didn't like to hear these comments. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't like it, and so I tried to avoid it as much as possible. So that's another comment I got. Then I had another situation. It wasn't a comment, but it was kind of like I took a picture with my friend. It was like a selfie, and she sent it to one of her friends, and I don't think she saw me, but I kind of saw what she wrote, and she was like, can you see how skinny she is? And I was kind of like, oh, so, and it wasn't like mean, like I understand that it was concerns, and it's good to know that there was concerns, and I got a lot of comments, like I said, like those were like the bold ones, but like I got other comments from family and friends, like, are you okay? Obviously from my grandma when I came back, and I wasn't that skinny. Like, a lot of my relatives in America did not see me at my skinniest stage, and they saw me just like a little bit more, and they already thought I was really, really skinny. But when I was in Russia, that's when I was really skinny, and that's when most of my comments came from. And so yeah, that's basically the comments I got. Of course I got like, you know, you need to gain weight maybe, or like if I gained some weight when I was recovering, they might have said, oh, you look healthier. I had comments like, you look dead, you look, you don't look happy, kind of like that. And I understand. At the moment I didn't really see it. I thought it looked great. And so yeah, it's kind of weird, but like that's another thing why you shouldn't like really have a goal of being anorexic or something, because you might think it's all like, oh yeah, you're skinny, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, oh, you're so skinny. But in reality, you get comments like this, and it's just kind of like, you might think like from a different point of view, you might think like, oh yeah, I want comments like that, but in reality, when it actually happens, you don't want comments like that. It's not like, none of these comments were pleasant to hear. I didn't like any of them. I tried to avoid talking about it, and so I have to tell you that, you know, like, if I were to watch a video like this and somebody said like, oh, I got this kind of comments and I didn't like it, and this, I'd be like, oh, I would like it, but no, you would not like it. It's not pleasant to hear from your family and friends that you always knew, and it just breaks relationships as well, and it's you don't want that. So yeah, that was my video about comments I got when I was anorexic. I don't know if you guys liked it. I hope this wasn't triggering. I will probably put a trigger sign, maybe, because I don't know if this would count as triggering or not. I hope it's not, and I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. And yeah, bye.